What is going on? Welcome to the Bearded Browns. I am Gary, and I'm sitting here with Mike. And here we are on a Sunday morning at 11:30, and this is going to be, So here, you would think that we're coming here on a Sunday, and you're hoping for a win on the first preseason game. And I don't know if this is going to be the first of many things to come, or if this is going to be hopefully, an outlier. But we are on a post-mortem here, and the Browns are starting 0-1 here in the preseason. We got a chance to look at some of the quarterbacks here. We got a chance to see Shedeur Sanders. We got a chance to see Deshaun Watson. I don't know that we necessarily, we're just going to get right to it here. I don't know that we necessarily got to see anything that we wanted to see. I don't know that anybody answered any questions that, are going to tell us who the quarterback is going to be for the next year. We got to see some cool stuff on offense as far as like Casey Concepcion. I know there was some stuff there that we did like to see. But quarterback wise, I don't really know that necessarily any questions were answered. But if you listened yesterday, you know that we saw that wasn't necessarily what we thought was going to happen. We're going up against the Chicago Bears 2s and 3s. So we didn't really necessarily expect to be seeing anything really that we're going to answer some big questions.
I didn't really expect a lot. I wanted to just see how the offensive line was going to play, and obviously the quarterbacks were going to play. And we saw it. We saw it the first time yesterday, and it was not really good. I mean, the first team offensive line came out, and they made some things happen. You scored a touchdown, you got a field goal kick, you got in the red zone, and it just wasn't enough. It wasn't good. It wasn't competitive enough, especially when you're playing against their 2s and 3s. But,
for sure. So I just don't think that offensive line really looked good really at all, especially when you're going against the 2s and 3s there. When you're going against the 2s and 3s, you really kind of have to look dominant. I think in all aspects of the game. But we want to know what you guys thought out there. You can give us a call on the Maple City Ice Bud Light listener line, 440-775-1320, 440-775-1320, or also talk to us in the chat there on Facebook, YouTube, or any of the other socials that were out there. We got some folks in the chat already. We got James Frank talking about KC looking like dynamite. We have Going Nuclear CLE talking about the OC or the O-line looking not looking so good, but Judkins, continuing to get hit behind the line, and that's a big problem here, especially when you know that you're going to have to rely on the running game, especially if the quarterbacks are not going to be what you want them to be going forward. The offensive line is going to be the offensive line is going to be the beginning and the end of what this offense is going to do, especially if you don't have the quarterback play that you need.
I mean, to be honest, what were expectations yesterday? You wanted to see good play, and you clearly did not. And you take that into consideration when thinking about a whole new offense with the new coaching staff, everything. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not, like I said yesterday, it's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately. In a perfect world, it would be great, but it's not. I am excited to see what happens next week. Hopefully, you'll see some better play. They learned a lot this week, I hope.
For sure.
So it's just one of those things you're going to have to watch. Keep on watching Browns football. Keep on listening to us on the weekends. And Tuesday, our 7:30 show, I actually will be here Thursday at 7 to 8:30. Our show will air here to Thursday. So that'll be fun. But there's football was back. That was great to watch some football in Cleveland Browns football. It just wasn't what we were all intending to see, I guess.
For sure. Now, if we take a look at the stats, they don't look all too bad, right? So Deshaun Watson was 11 for 15, 126 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a fumble. He was sacked one time for, -5 yards. Now, Deshaun Watson, the thing that, with Deshaun Watson, I understand that this is really his first live action in a couple years. And, he is really going to be kind of, he's going to be limited to what the coaches are going to call for him. But, you really want to see him throw the ball downfield a little bit. And you didn't really see that at all from him.
I mean, you start off slow. It's preseason. You got to see some of him after not playing for almost 2 years. It was kind of unexpected, I guess. I wasn't expecting him to be even subpar, to be honest.
And I totally understand that. But if you are even talking about him being your starter this year, the NFL now is you don't dink and dunk.
You do. I mean, if you got to get rid of the ball quick, your offensive line's not giving you an opportunity. You have to dink and dunk at that point, right?
But it just kind of seemed like that was just the offense that they were calling, though. They weren't even calling an offense to give him an opportunity. And he's supposed to be a mobile guy. He's the mobile quarterback. Out of all these quarterbacks, he's the athletic. He's the mobile quarterback. So you would think that they would maybe call plays around. They knew before we did that offensive line wasn't very good. So you would think that they would maybe start putting plays in to, see what he can do on the run. But I also understand that this is the first preseason game, right? And you're not going to show everybody what you have.
Right. But one thing I did not like is when he tried to escape the pocket. He got out of the pocket, ran for a couple yards, and he literally dove head first into the dirt. I'm like, dude, what are you doing there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Why? Why would you do that? You're already injury riddled.
Yeah.
For the most part. Don't do that.
Well, what would you prefer? A guy diving head first or a guy hitting the ground before he gets even touched?
That one irritated me twice. Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
You saw Dylan Gabriel almost get sacked, but just gave up on the play. He literally laid down.
Yeah, he did. And, I was listening to, watch the game, and you listen to the post-game press conferences and some of the other podcasts out there. And I will say, if you get a chance, I don't know how people out there feel about this particular podcast, but I love listening to Shannon Sharp and Ochocinco, just for the fact that they're just entertaining, and they are wild for this one. They were talking about the application at Home Depot that Dylan Gabriel needs to be filling out after this one. And James Frank just talked about him being cut. And I think that's what everybody's saying here at this point. Dylan Gabriel, for whatever it was, everybody was saying that he looked good or didn't look good during, these practices and things like that. This is, these preseason games, they may be preseason, but this shows you the difference between even a preseason game and these practices. When you are getting hit, it's different. When you got guys actually coming to do you harm, that it's different than your teammates, in these practices. And, they were looking to do Dylan Gabriel harm, and he wanted no part of it. And he did not look, it was not a good look for him.
I agree. So 34-10, Bears win with 430 total yards. The Browns had the 3 turnovers. Bears had 1 turnover. And we went 6 for 17 on third down. The biggest question, was this just preseason or there's legitimate concerns here? Because, I mean, obviously we talked about it yesterday where we said, you're not going to see this team meshing well until probably somewhere between week 4 and 6. And then I said on previous shows that whether Deshaun Watson is starting or not, I think you're going to see a different quarterback by week 4 or 6 as well.
For sure. Especially with this offensive line. They're going to need to, update their liability insurance with Doug White Allstate over to 440-235-8500 so that they can make sure that they can pay their bills after they get creamed, because it was a bad look here. That offensive line definitely, it's a new line. And we're definitely going to have to remember that as we're going through this. Dylan Sampson, as James was saying, he looked good. You got that change of pace back, which was nice. There were some good things here, but that defense didn't look great. The offensive line didn't look great. But there are some good things to talk about, and we're going to talk about those here coming out of break. But we're going to hit that first break here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about, what we saw from Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, talk more about the defensive line and what we saw from the defense. And we're also going to go to the phones here and, hear what you have to say. 440-775-1320, 440-775-1320 from the Maple City Ice Bud Light listener line. We'll be talking to you, and we'll also be going to the chats here. So give us a call, and we appreciate the chats. And we will be right back with the Bearded Browns on WOBL.
Hey, it's GT from the Cool Cat, and your ride deserves the best. Auto Details on Broad Street, Elyria offers professional services for your car. If your car needs it, they do it. For a complete list of services, visit autodetails-elyria.com. Auto Details. Do it right.
Batter up. It's a home run rally contest brought to you by Music's Auto Care in Lorraine. Tune in Friday mornings from 7 to 10 for your chance to get entered into a hopper and possibly win some cash at the end of the season. For every home run the Cleveland Guardians hit during the regular season, Music's Auto will donate $5 into the bullpen. We'll draw one lucky winner on September 29th. Good luck and keep listening to your new home in Lorraine County for Guardians Baseball. WOBL 1320 AM 1077 FM. Lorraine County Country. Only one entry per household, 18 and over.
WOBL and the Bearded Browns are proud to partner with J&M Contracting. From start to finish, J&M brings experience, quality, and expertise to every job. Call J&M Contracting at 440-662-8054. J&M Contracting, the experts in everything they do.
Hey, it's Gary from the Bearded Browns. This is not a drill. City Dogs and the Lorain County Dog Kennel have officially reached critical mass. We're talking dogs with zoomies the speed of a Josh Cribbs punt return. These dogs don't care about who the next QB of the Browns are. They just care about you. Adopt, foster, share, save a life. City Dogs Cleveland, Lorain County Dog Kennel. Draft the next Dog Pound superstar. At City Dogs Cleveland on all social media.
Dinosaurs have taken over African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Encounter more than 20 moving, roaring dinosaurs, including Triceratops, Stegosaurus, and a 48-foot T-Rex. While you're here, experience the drive-through safari, where you can feed giraffes, zebras, and bison from your own car. Now through Labor Day, only at African Safari Wildlife Park, just 20 minutes west of Sandusky. Visit AfricanSafariWildlifePark.com for details.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
And we are back live to talk some more Cleveland Browns preseason football. I didn't wake up upset this morning. I do want to let everybody know that. It's Cleveland Browns football. And the shirt I'm wearing, I don't know if everybody that's on the stream could actually see it. What does that say, Gary? It
says Cleveland Browns, so it's another week without a W. Does that shirt go back from the winless year?
No, I got this last year.
Okay.
So I'm still rocking it. Whenever we have a loss,
yeah,
I'll be sure to wear this.
Mm-hmm. Well, so the Browns go down yesterday 34-10 to the Hammond, Indiana, Chicago Bears. The Browns give up 34 unanswered points to the Chicago Bears yesterday. And, one of the things that we talked about yesterday, and I've heard a lot of people say, is that they think that the Browns might have maybe a top 5, top 10 defense. And I understand that the Browns didn't really play their number ones yesterday on the defense. But this shows that I think in order to have a top 5, top 10 defense, you have to have some depth. And the Browns showed that they don't really have a lot of depth on that defense.
Yeah, I mean, you got your 2s and 3s. You literally have to hope for no injuries so you don't see that again this year. The corners, the safeties, the linebackers were just not on point. And you're playing against our old quarterback, Case Keenum, which threw 9 for 10, I believe, 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then you had Tyson, what's his name? I forget his name right now. Tyson
Campbell?
No. Their other quarterback, their backup quarterback, Tyson Campbell. I forget his name right now. I forget it. But anyways, he actually is not a bad quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He wound up playing well. He did throw an interception, which was great, but it's just
Bagent.
It's Bagent.
Bagent, okay.
Bagent, that's it.
Yeah.
Tyson Bagent, thank you.
Shout out to Ethan going nuclear, CLE.
Thank you, Ethan. But yeah, it was not at all what we were kind of expecting, because of the hype that came into this year, with Todd Monken and the new receivers, the new offensive line, everything just did not look as we anticipated. And I'm not saying we were wishing for greatness right off the bat, but just yesterday showed the fact that we are a little ahead of ourselves as fans. The fan base is a little ahead of ourselves, and we need to, take it back a notch, man, and just realize that this is a whole new offense, and we're gonna
and a whole new defense too.
No, not a whole new defense. You got a couple of defensive players, but you got your whole new coaching. Well, you got Mike Rutenberg, which is your defensive coordinator now, and they said it yesterday again that they're trying to stick with Jim Schwartz's ideology, but it did not look like Jim Schwartz yesterday at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That it is a whole new defense. There's a couple of things here. Number one, you have a new defensive coordinator. Number two, that we've been in this position here where Myles Garrett's gone, and we've been trying to deal with losing Myles Garrett and trying to talk ourselves into this way of thinking that losing Myles is not going to be that big of a deal, right? And we need to come to terms with the fact that Myles Garrett is the best defensive player that we've seen in our lifetimes. And losing him is losing your defense. Myles Garrett made that defense. Myles Garrett made that defense. Who's to say that, Ward and all these other guys in the secondary aren't who they are because of who Myles Garrett was?
I disagree completely. I think you need a leader, and Myles was not a leader. He was I'm not going to say about himself. He wanted to win games, and that's probably another reason that he wanted to be traded. I'm not going to say Myles isn't the best defensive player in the league right now, but I'm kind of glad he's gone. You know what? You got Jared Verse, a younger talent that still is going to be a good, solid player. He's not going to be the best defensive player in the NFL, but I don't think it's going to put that much of a damper on the defense. The kid's still going to get pressures. He's still going to be good. He's going to get sacks. He's going to. He played half the first quarter yesterday, maybe.
But he's going to get. Is he going to? But I think you're going to have a situation now, and I was listening to some other folks talk about it who are much smarter than I am, former NFL players, and I have to agree with them. You're going to have to get coverage sacks now this year, where you never had to get that with Myles Garrett. Well, Myles Garrett was there. Myles Garrett was applying pressure, and then that pressure was kind of coming downhill. I was allowing everybody else to do their job in a much easier way.
Well, he was getting double and triple teamed. That's not going to – you'll probably see Jared Verse getting double teamed, but that leaves room for the offensive or the other defensive lineman. Mason Graham is supposed to have a spectacular year. Looking forward to that.
The urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Huron County, Richland County, southeastern Seneca County in northwestern Ohio, northeastern Marion County, southeastern Wyandotte County in northwestern Ohio, northern Morrow County, Crawford County, until 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 11:48 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along the line extending from near Willard to near Bucyrus to near Morrill, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to trees and power lines. Locations impacted include Mansfield, Marion, Bucyrus, Galion, Shelby, Willard, Ontario, Lexington, Crestline, New London, Belleville, Plymouth, New Washington, Morrill, Chatfield, Marseille, Greenwich, Nevada, Lucas, and Caledonia. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Ohio: Crawford, Huron, Marion, Morrill, Richland, Seneca, and Wyandotte.
And that is when you move from podcast to radio, you get interrupted by the National Weather Service.
Yeah, you heard it here. Hide your kids, hide your wife, get some shelter if you're in any of those locations. That was, or you're a Browns fan, you might want to seek some shelter too. That was a little bit different, but hey, That we're back. We are back. What were we talking about before we were rudely interrupted?
We're rudely interrupted by God.
Oh man.
So, basically just talking about, the Myles Garrett's effect on the defense. I'm interested to see on just the effect that he's going to have. I know that Jared Verse is going to be a good player, and I'm not saying that he's not going to be, but I think we have to come to terms with that. We did lose one of the greatest defensive players of all time. I mean, you're talking he's kind of the Lawrence Taylor of his generation.
There's no I in team. You win some, you lose some, and you got a younger talent for cheaper. That opens up the realm for years to come. For us, for the Browns, anyways.
I mean, I guess so. In some ways, and in other ways, you got a younger talent for cheaper that's not as good. And hopefully, listen, man. Hopefully, he develops and he becomes good. But I just don't know.
Good. He is already good. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. This is a third year.
For sure. And there's been a lot of other Pro Bowlers over the last how many decades that have not been Myles Garrett. What do you guys think? 440-775-1320. Are the Browns going to miss Myles Garrett? Is this defense going to be different? 440-775-1320. Give us a call on the Maple City Ice Bud Light listener line. What do you think, man? Are they going to have to call J&M Contracting to rebuild this defense here?
I don't think the defense will be a problem once you start seeing the ones in there. I really don't. I think they're going to acclimate and come together, and everything's going to work out for the defense. It's the offense that is my big concern.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the defense looked horrible yesterday, but that's stuff that could be fixed. Can this offense be fixed? That's the question, man. It's what do you do? I mean, you have offensive line, a whole new offensive line. You have that's where the play starts, man. That's where it all starts, with your center, and then your right guard, your left guard, your left tackle, right tackle. Nobody looked good yesterday. Nobody. Casey Concepcion.
Yeah.
Good. That's about all I'll give, to be honest. Denzel Boston had a nice catch. But wide receivers seem to be doing their job. What?
For sure. And listen, I think that wide receiver class that we drafted this year is going to be good. And that is, as much as that's going to be a coup for Andrew Berry. That the flip side of that is the quarterbacks. You took you spent a 3rd round draft pick on a quarterback yesterday that didn't want to get touched. And it wasn't just yesterday, by the way. It was last year too, in the regular season that was happening for him. If you go back and look at the tape last year, Dylan Gabriel did not want to get hit last year. And of all the grief that everybody has given all the other quarterbacks in a Browns uniform, I mean, that's crazy. That you want that anybody, especially associated with the bearded Browns, it calls himself a doctor.
Chad just texted me actually and said that I look more down than he does today. And I'm not down. It's a preseason game.
Yeah.
Were we really expecting much more than that, to be honest?
For sure.
I was not. I watched. I didn't get angry. There's work to be done. It's that simple. And that's stuff that you could do in the practice coming up against the Bills,
mm-hmm.
the next preseason game, all the practices in between that. That's where you're going to find your identity, hopefully before the season starts. That'd be in a perfect world again, but it may not happen.
I mean, let me ask you, did Gage Larvin, did he do anything to keep a roster spot here? Because I know that he hasn't looked great in practices, so they've said.
No, he's been all right. I think he had the punt return yesterday that he kind of fumbled for a second.
Mm-hmm.
He recovered it, obviously, and gained maybe 10 yards out of it, but Chad has a doctorate.
He has a doctorate. Okay.
All right.
Is that what he texted?
Yes. Back to Browns football. Yesterday, we're going to talk a little about Deshaun Watson. 11 for 15, 126 yards, 2 scoring drives, the fumble, which, there was pressure on him. His hand got smacked, or his arm got hit, and he fumbled the ball. His arm was not moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
That happens, unfortunately, to us. He did look comfortable at times, which gives you, his pocket presence was not bad, except when he ran and dove headfirst into the ground. Physically, he looked good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. He looked good physically. He did tell, I don't know if you saw this, but I believe it was at halftime. He was talking to Aditi Kikabala, and he said that coach knows that he does not like doing QB sneaks. So when he had that 4th and 1 or whatever it was, 3rd and 1 maybe, he did a QB sneak, and he complained about it, I guess. So dude, you don't QB sneak. You're going to have to do that. Let's implement the tush push here in Cleveland, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, the QB sneak is a part of the game, though.
Yeah, it's been for years.
I mean, the QB sneak is really kind of part of the game before, really the pass was, if you look at the history of the game. The forward pass,
Yeah.
So, listen, man, the Browns they just need quarterback's been the problem, I don't think that anybody who has been pushing for Shedeur Sanders to be, and I'm one of them, and I'm not necessarily pushing for Shedeur Sanders to be the starter over anybody. I just been wanting him to get a look, right? Because I want the future. I want to see if he can be the future. Nobody who is an advocate for any of these guys looked good yesterday.
Agreed.
Nobody looked like they are the future of the Browns.
Agreed.
And that's not good. And not that you really thought that one of them was going to look like the answer yesterday. But you were hoping, playing against the 2s and 3s of another team, that somebody would start to grab this competition by the throat. And that's why I wanted Deshaun to maybe try and push it downfield, because Shedeur did.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see, right? That's where your big plays are going to happen at. But you're going to see more, I think, is going to happen with Deshaun the next time you see him in game. Hopefully the line will get things together where you're able to let a play develop long enough for a guy to get downfield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see people scrambling for their lives to make a pass while running. That's never good unless you're old elite Deshaun Watson, and you're not. As of right now, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just wondering this: are these check down passes, these things that he's doing, are they because of the arm injury?
Well, we're gonna take a brief pause for station identification real quick, and we'll get right back to that.
Guys, give us a call. Do you think that he is not throwing downfield because of his arm injury? 440-775-1320.
Broadcasting from the Lorain County Visitors Bureau Studios, this is WOBL, Oberlin.
Today's national anthem is brought to you by Semper Fi Plumbing. Your national anthem has been brought to you by Semper Fi Plumbing. Uncommon service is a common virtue with Semper Fi Plumbing.
Yeah, we forgot to stand and take our hats off for that one. I got bashed for that in the comments, but yeah, won't let that happen again until next time. We are back. We're talking about Deshaun Watson's quarterback play yesterday, where you were seeing a lot of dink and ducks, as Gary called it, short passes, completions. You're getting chunk yardage is what I do like.
Mm-hmm.
You're running clock, you're getting chunk yardage, and you could score. You scored 10 points, which do you think we would have scored a lot more if we kept Deshaun Watson in that game?
I mean, I'm not necessarily, honestly, at this point in time, I'm not looking for points, right? I'm just looking to see style of play. I'm looking for completions. I'm looking for, I'm looking for decision making, right? I'm just looking to see what these guys can and can't do. And it just, with a guy that had an arm injury that he had, it just worries me to not see him throwing downfield. And I understand that it's the first game. I get all of that, and that's fine. I just want to see a little bit more out of him.
I don't think he would be on the field if his shoulder was still an issue, to be honest. I think they were just trying to see, what he's capable of doing, how quick he can get rid of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be an ongoing issue with, our quarterbacks holding onto the ball. I think Angel said yesterday his average was like 4.38 seconds or something like that to hold onto the ball.
Yeah.
Which is not good. It's not. But if you're able to stay in the pocket and let a play develop again, that brings you right back to the offensive line.
Yeah.
But you have your second and third string offensive line in. What do you really expect to come from that? Which is kind of a bummer for both quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. You have no protection while you're out there trying to fight for a job, and you have Deshaun Watson out there with the ones for a little bit. And I don't know, man. I can't wait to see the Buffalo game with the ones out there and Shedeur Sanders starting, just to see what's going to happen. That's all I want to. I'm looking forward to that game as well. I'm looking forward to all the preseason games.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, to kind of just break away a little bit from what the Browns did and a little bit Browns adjacent. What did you think of Jed Wills yesterday?
I'm not even talking about that kid. Nope. I don't.
He gave up a sack.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but I do not like Jed Wills. And James Frank actually said something here a little bit ago. Let me see if I can find that comment.
I mean, we don't got to. It was a while back, but we did see Jed Wills yesterday. He gave up a sack, and there are some people that have given a little bit of grief to the Cleveland fans and the media for how he was treated here. And I just say, just wait and see how he's treated in Chicago if he keeps playing like that.
There's a lot to look forward to, guys, this year. Don't throw in the towel just because of one preseason game. I'm going to tell you that now. I had no anger today. It's just take this for example. Remember that year we won all 4 preseason games, and then we went 0-16?
Mm-hmm.
What if we lose all 3 preseason games and go 10-7?
For sure. But if you remember, though, the year that we won all of those preseason games, right, it was the second and third strings that were winning those. It wasn't the first string.
Oh, there was lots of first string guys in there. Enough to win games. Or that's what you do when you tank.
Yeah, I guess so. But you really, like we were saying before, these scores don't mean anything. Your wins and losses, I'm not looking at scores. I'm not looking at wins and losses in your preseason. The things that I'm looking at, like I said, is Deshaun Watson. I want to see him, I want to see him throwing. I want to see him throwing down the field. I did love Todd Monken's post-game press conference, especially the last couple minutes of it. As time is going on, I am liking him more and more. I was not a fan of that hire. When they did it, I thought he was kind of a rehash. I didn't want anybody that was here during the Freddie Kitchens era. So the fact that he was around then definitely was a big negative for me. But I am liking what I'm seeing from him. So he's definitely he's impressed so far in the time that he's been here. You guys can give us a call, 440-775-1320. If you guys are in the chat, give us a call too, 440-775-1320. Let us know what you think. You
You know what I liked most about yesterday is I saw a little highlight from the Falcons game, and I saw Kevin Stefanski shaking his head on the sideline just like he did here. Mm-hmm. I mean, Kevin, at the end of the day, you just got to do better, man.
Yeah.
Old motto. About Todd Monken, it took me a minute. Honestly, I wanted a younger coach. I'm not going to lie. I did want a younger coach because the NFL is changing. To me, there's a lot of people that wanted an old head.
Mm-hmm.
I, however, did not. And like the Baltimore Ravens with Minter, you're going to see different things coming from them, I believe.
So when you dial the phone number, it's busy.
Let's see now. But yeah, I'm okay with Todd Monken being the coach. I'd like to see what's going to happen this year. Obviously, do you think that yesterday he pulled out pieces of the playbook?
All right, we got a phone call coming in. All right, you are live on WOBL Bearded Browns. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gary, Mike. It's Ethan in Richmond, also known as Going Nuclear on the YouTube chat here.
How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
Well, glad to join you guys, and you're doing a great job. The job of quarterback is certainly going to be in flux. I didn't see anything great from Deshaun Watson, and I didn't see much great out of Shedeur Sanders. Both of them have their flaws. Your question about Deshaun throwing the ball downfield, I'm not sure what the deal is with that. He certainly has shown during practice he can throw it downfield. I really don't know if it's still a mental thing. We've been talking about the fact that you have to get into game speed, and now we're finally getting to some live fire and seeing what he can really do. Honestly, even if he starts as QB1, week 1, don't think we're going to see him for maybe more than 4 weeks or something of that nature, either because of injury or because of poor play. Sanders has a long way to go, but he's a second-year player. You'd expect him to have a long way to go. The question is, can he come up the learning curve even more? Can he go from trying to make the big chunk plays to being able to take those shorter passes and see guys open quicker? The thing with the offensive line, and you guys mentioned the fact we had second and third stringers in there, well, the defensive line is second and third stringers as well. So there's a lot left to be desired. They've got to work on the depth on the defense. The offensive line certainly needs to come together and gel. Hopefully George Warhop, as the O-line coach, will do that.
Where do you think where to go to work on the depth for that defense?
Well, certainly they've got to possibly look at the free agents that are out there. They really need to shore up the defensive backs. That was obviously an issue yesterday. We had some guys in there that have no business being on an NFL football field. They might not even make it in the UFL. It was pretty bad. They just looked poor. We know that the starters are great. We know that Campbell and Ward are excellent, and we've got some great players out there with the number one. But after that, the depth is so thin. It's a problem. The defensive line, we've got to find another stalwart out there. The fact that we've got so many injuries does not help. If you saw this morning, it appears we're going to be bringing back Zadarius Smith, who we had traded away a couple seasons ago, went to the Lions, then he retired. And if we get him back and he can provide any kind of depth on the opposite side of Jared Verse, that would be amazing. Veteran presence and leadership will be very important for the Browns. They absolutely have to have that.
Absolutely. Ethan, let me ask you a question. Out of the 3 quarterbacks that you saw play yesterday, who's your starter, who's your second, who's your third?
At this point, taking my emotion out of it, I believe that it would be in the order they played. It's Watson, then Sanders, then Gabriel, although Gabriel, unfortunately, he can't change how tall he is. And that deficiency, you can't overcome that when you've got monsters on the defensive line and you can't even see over your own offensive line. Again, I think Sanders has room for improvement and he needs to get the playing time. I also think that he is one of these guys, if you give him an opportunity, he can do some things. He's going to make his mistakes, but you got to learn from that. And Watson, I just don't know about his overall physical abilities at this point. If I see one more pass thrown into the ground, leaving a divot like I hit a chunk shot on the second green, I'm going to lose my mind.
I did not see any balls batted down from Gabriel yesterday. I did see Shedeur Sanders got 2 patted down by the line, and that
is true
as well.
Yeah, and I don't know what that you can attribute that to. Did you guys also have a chance to take a look at or hear some of the theories about the reason for the possible slip on the pass by Shedeur Sanders in which it was intercepted? I thought that Chase Daniel had an interesting video clip and discussion about that. It was kind of comical as well as insightful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that video on it. I did hear the press conference afterwards where he definitely took credit, took responsibility for the lack of execution on that. Talked about how he was very happy with his decision making, which is something that he's been working on. It's something we've all been talking about, where he needs to get better on his decision making. So he was happy about where he made that throw, just, where the ball slipped. And, needs to work on his execution and plays like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Huron County, southwestern Medina County in northeastern Ohio, northern Ashland County, northwestern Wayne County in northeastern Ohio, southwestern Lorain County until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 12:11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over New London, or 14 miles north of Ashland, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to trees and power lines. Locations impacted include Medina, Wellington, Lodi, New London, Creston, West Salem, Chippewa Lake, Savannah, Polk, Sullivan, Penfield, Westfield Center, Spencer, Bailey Lakes, Burbank, Congress, Rochester, Nova, Briarwood Beach, and Chippewa on the Lake. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Ohio: Ashland, Huron, Lorain, Medina, and Wayne.
Again, hide your kids, hide your wife if you're in any of those locations. We are back to Browns football talk.
I want to thank Ian for calling in. Ethan. I want to thank Ethan for calling in there. Sorry for getting rid of that call there. We were interrupted there by the National Weather Service. But yeah, everything Ethan was saying, most of us pretty much agree with here.
You need one solid quarterback and an offensive line that could literally help your run and protect your pocket. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And this team could be successful and win points. That's you got receivers now that seem to be favorable in catching the ball. You had Harold Fannin had the one drop yesterday, right in the numbers, and that's going to happen. I think Angel and I were actually talking about it yesterday because I think he had 5 drops last year. And Angel asked, do you think that'll be a problem this year? And hopefully that's something that they're working on. I mean, obviously the kid is our number 1 tight end right now. He had a great last year, and that's something else I'm looking forward to. Not a big game yesterday, but again, it's preseason.
For sure.
There's lots to come.
Yeah, we certainly got a lot more football here. I definitely want to shout out our sponsors for allowing us to be here on WOBL. 1320 AM, 107.7 FM. Thank you to Auto Details, proudly providing Lorain County with vehicle detailing accessories for more than 47 years at 1177 East Broad Street in Elyria. Give them a call, 440-365-3666. The Dog House Bar and Grill. Great food and atmosphere and staff for the dog and you. Woof, woof. At 114 Antioch Drive in Elyria, 440-412-3061. And Wiggins Construction and Home Improvement. They're quick, quality, and clean, 440-731 4654. Doug White, Allstate Insurance Agency, quality service and low prices for over 25 years. 440-235-8500. And J&M Contracting, family owned, integrity driven business. 440-662-8054. You guys that are in the chat here, you can also give us a call. It is 440-775-1320 if you want to join the show. James wants us to do the real bark here. You got to bark?
No, I'm not barking today. I'm not barking after that. No way. No barking for me today. You could do the barking. I'm surprised you haven't yet, to be honest, because normally every time I talk, when I was doing the intro, yeah, there it is.
There it is. We're talking Browns here, guys. Come on, join us on the show here. It's the Bearded Browns, and we're talking about the 34-10 loss the Browns had on the first preseason game against the Hammond, Indiana, Chicago Bears. I was way off on my prediction. Yesterday, I had predicted the Browns, 342,567,422.92 to the Bears, negative 42.27. And I was way off, guys. The Browns lost, and, that defense just did not look deep. It didn't look good.
I said 21-17. I almost covered the spread. I think the spread was 38.5.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, again, you win some, you lose some. I do want to talk about Jerry Jeudy. He did have a great catch yesterday, right in the middle of the field. And one thing I did like about Deshaun Watson is he's got some speed on the ball still. I did see that yesterday. He was whizzing some passes in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was good to see. Right? You want to see these balls get to the receivers quick, over the head of defenders. That's how it has to happen.
For sure. And that's Jerry Jeudy is going to be he's going to be big on this team this year. Jerry Jeudy, whether he is the guy that you had 2 years ago or the guy that you had last year, I think is going to be a big part of whether this offense is semi-successful or, not successful at all this year. And I think even for the future, whether he's a trade chip for you as well. If you want to get out from underneath this contract, you're going to need this guy. If you want Jerry Jeudy to be anything for you, he's going to have to be the guy that he was 2 years ago.
I think he's fighting for that, to be honest, because you don't want to put bad film out there anyways. If you want to get picked up by another team or if you want to have another contract come, you're not going to put out bad film. You need to fix your problems, and that's hopefully that's something that's being taken care of this year, right? You're the number one wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns right now. You have two rookies and a couple other possibilities that are going to be wide receivers on this team. You're the man. Step up and show that you are the leader in that locker room for the wide receiver core.
So
catch the ball.
The way you're looking at it right now, who do you see who are your wide receivers right now? After preseason game one, who are your 5 wide receivers? Jerry
Jeudy, number one.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have probably Cedric Tillman. As long as he can stay healthy, I don't see why not, right? Casey Concepcion, Boston, and you got Fannin and maybe another tight end or two.
So you're saying
Malachi Corley, maybe? No.
Really?
I don't know, man. That's one of those things where we don't see as much, right? Jerry Jeudy, Casey. Isaiah.
So as I was going to ask, Bond, you're cutting Bond?
No, I'm definitely not cutting Bond. I want to see more from Bond. I don't know why I forgot about Bond there for a minute, but yeah.
So that's what I was asking early. So Larvin is gone then. So Larvin didn't do anything to secure a spot on that roster.
You keep him as a punt returner?
But isn't Concepcion your punt returner?
You want to have Casey Concepcion as your punt returner and possibly get injured?
But isn't that one of the reasons that you have him on this team, though, is he's your
wide receiver? I wouldn't put him don't get me wrong, he had that great punt return yesterday, but I would not make him, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Could that be a possible big loss if you lose Casey Concepcion, a rookie that shined yesterday? If you make him the punt returner? I wouldn't do it personally.
But then why do you have him returning punts then in a preseason game?
See what they could do. I don't know, man. I wouldn't take that leap. I wouldn't.
But it looks like they are, though.
They do it. We have no say over it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean,
is Concepcion your punt returner, guys? 440-775-1320. Is he the guy? Are you going to, from what you saw yesterday, is he going to be a guy that you're going to risk as your punt returner? I mean, I don't know. So I'll tell you what, going into this, like I was not very high on Concepcion. From what I saw in college with how many passes he was dropping, and then what you were hearing about him in practice. I mean, I'll just say it. We have a thread going on where I predicted that maybe in a couple of years he wasn't going to be on the roster. I thought he was going to be a bust. And then you see him yesterday, and, he doesn't look like the guy you heard about, which is why I say it doesn't matter what you hear from other people. It doesn't matter what you hear about these guys in practice. It matters what you see on tape in the games.
Yeah, I obviously the kid's got speed, creativity, playmaking ability. You saw all these things yesterday. Can become a major offensive weapon. And he's what, 5'11"? I think he's 5'11", right?
5'10", 5'11", something like that.
6 foot, 190. Sorry, but yeah, it's promising, right? I thought they were going to put him in the slot a lot and have him in the middle of the field making plays, but wherever they play best, man. Even when I was playing Madden the other day, I think they had him off to they had him like wide receiver 1 off to the left, going deep.
But you say that, but then you also hear that Jerry Jeudy's been taking snaps in the slot as well.
Yeah, they're going to switch it up, right? They have to. It's all Todd Monken. The drunken Monken.
It's definitely going to be an exciting year this year. Seeing how Monken is going to switch things up. I'm really excited for Samson. Samson looks like he put a little weight on. And
Sanders, even everybody, all the running backs looked fairly decent yesterday.
Yeah.
Without a line. You've seen some nice runs, man. Some nice cuts. Everybody looks in shape. Like you said, everybody looks like they're beefed up a little bit as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Are you taking any flyers? Let me ask you, going back on the defense, are you taking any flyers in any of these veterans out there, these big name veterans that are sitting out there?
Any flyers?
Yeah, any flyers. So are you looking at maybe like a Bosa? To try and get a little deeper here?
That'd be nice, right? I mean, you've seen yesterday what happened with your 2s and 3s.
Mm-hmm. That's what yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you can get, you get. I mean, are you looking for starting quality or just?
Right now, I think you just need depth, right?
Well, yeah, you need depth for sure because injuries do happen. That's something we've talked about. I would definitely look for depth in the secondary as well. The defensive line, Malik Collins is, I believe, on a PUP list right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's again, you watched that Tennessee game last year, or as soon as Malik Collins went down, the run game just dominated us. That's not something I want to see again.
Mm-hmm. Zadarius Smith, James Frank just brought him up. He worked out for the Browns this past week. Is a guy like him Zadarius Smith worries me, to be honest, bringing a guy like him into a young team like this. I understand that he may have had injuries.
We just signed him.
Did we just sign him?
Yeah. See what happens when you're sitting in a radio studio. Thank you, Chad. Chad said we just signed him.
We just signed him? Well,
breaking news.
Breaking news. We just signed, you heard it here, eighth.
Zadarius Smith is now a Cleveland Brown again.
And that thing kind of worries me a little bit. Just because, listen, it worries me just for the fact that I don't know what happened in Philadelphia. Why he retired midseason. Maybe it was an injury type situation. However, I just don't understand when you are with a defending champion why you would retire midseason.
You're done. People have families. People want to be home. I can't imagine being an NFL player for long is fun. It's got to be daunting. You know what I mean?
For sure. But if you're not enjoying playing for like the defending champions, why would you come to the Cleveland Browns and enjoy playing? I can't imagine you being. I can't imagine that being.
I don't know, man. Everybody has their own opinion on life. I'm done. Like playing football. Like me, I was a drummer in bands. I'm just done. You had enough, man. There comes a point in your life where you're just done. And it might have been it. And then you just see a possibility maybe down the road. That's why I still have my drums at home.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a possibility that there's something that can come about. And here it is.
Yeah,
So
but you're playing. You were playing for Guns N' Roses, and then you want to. I don't know. I guess I can't even come up with an equivalent, in rock music. But I guess the Browns aren't even like a good cover band at this point.
The Browns are that garage band right now that just annoys the neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll go that. Well, yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, Shedeur Smith is a Cleveland Brown again. You heard it here, 8th, as Gary likes to say. And we're hoping everybody on the stream actually heard Ethan call in. Could somebody confirm that?
Yeah, they did. They confirmed it.
They could hear him?
Yep.
See, we're good. We are good. Everything is correct.
That's right. So if you want to call in, 440-775-1320, 440-775-1320, give us a call. You can join the show. We could talk about Shedeur Smith. We could talk about Guns N' Roses, man. We could talk about anything that you saw in the game yesterday.
There's a lot to talk about from that game yesterday. The turnovers, 3 turnovers for the Cleveland Browns, right?
Yeah.
You had Deshaun Watson's fumble, Shedeur Sanders had an interception, and Dylan Gabriel had an interception.
Immediately.
Yeah, what was it, 4 or 5 passes in maybe, but 3 turnovers are costly. And
yeah.
You saw it happen.
For sure.
Can't do that. Third down efficiency was not good. I think for third down yesterday.
All right, we got a call coming in. All right, thanks for calling Bearded Browns. You're on the air. What is your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, fellas? It's GT. I got a couple things I want to say. Overall score for yesterday, what's the overall grade?
So
the first preseason game?
So I'm giving the Browns a D+.
I'm giving them a straight D.
Very fair.
What about you, GT? What are you giving them?
I'm with a D. I D-, D. I mean, definitely in that area. And second note of the day, and then I'll let you go. Show sounds great. Nothing better than an EAS test to break you into radio. And Gary, your hair is absolute fire today.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you guys aboard. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care, man. Thank you for calling in, GT.
Man, yeah, the weather is. I mean, it's looking dark out there now. I could see out there. It's coming.
There's a storm rolling in. It's the 2026-2027 Cleveland Browns football season. And it's going to be a cloud over us for the next 6 months. And so, we're really excited for that. And
third down conversions for the Cleveland Browns. We went 6 of 17. Fourth down conversions were 1 of 3. We had total of 64 plays, and we definitely won in clock management. We had the ball for 34 minutes and 3 seconds to the Bears 25 minutes and 57 seconds. So I was wrong yesterday when I said, hold on to the ball, clock management. I'm not wrong. Clock management could win games, but you have to put points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
We were unable to do that at all. We had 1 field goal, and that was a 50-yarder. I did like seeing that I believe the Bears missed their first field goal, which kept us at 10-0. And then red zone, 1 for 3, man. You got to score in the red zone. And that's what they've been practicing at camp. There's been a lot of red zone things. And I guess people had talked about, there being red zone issues because I believe it was 2 weeks ago, Shedeur Sanders was in the red zone, had no touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson that day had 7 touchdowns in the red zone. That's great to hear. Now let's see it in game.
And I think that goes back to kind of what I was saying before. It's great to hear about these things in practice. You want to see them on film. And this was the opportunity. This is their first opportunity to start seeing things on film. And if you're not going to show it on film, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And this was everybody's first opportunity to start, showing their stuff, to start taking this competition and, grabbing it by the throat. And nobody did it.
Yeah. And another thing I do want to talk about is penalties. People have to be held accountable. And Todd Monken did say he was going to start doing that. But we had 5 penalties yesterday for 42 yards. That one that I I believe we had to actually punt, but Deshaun Watson did get us back. We were at like 2nd and 25 or something, and he got us pretty close to a first down, but wasn't able to be successful, unfortunately. But dumb penalties like that, man, we've seen it riddled through the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
That has to stop. Penalties are a huge killer for your team, especially if you're losing downs.
For sure.
15 yards penalty, like 42 yards total, man. That's almost half the field. You lost half the field just in penalties. And if those pile up, you're going to be a sorry team.
For sure.
The Bears had 2 for 10. Two penalties with second and third stringers in. Who's more, what's that word I'm looking for?
Who's more disciplined?
Yeah, thank you. Disciplined. That's what this team needs. It's preseason. Get that. Go out there and have fun, but you are fighting for a job. Offensive line, defensive line, cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers. We're only going to put the best of the best out there. We're not going to mess around, and unless there's injuries, then you have to mess around. I believe, what is the trade deadline in the NFL? Is it still week 8, I believe?
I'm not sure. Listeners out there, can you look that up? Tell us when the trade deadline is this year.
I think it's always week 8.
We'll let someone look that up and tell us. But yeah, problem in the NFL though is that it's not like the other sports where even when you make those trades, a lot of times they don't really necessarily make a difference, unless you're the Niners and you're getting Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, whatever. Stop it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about what the Browns need to do to win games. Not preseason, actual season games. In season, let's win some games. We're going to talk about that as soon as we come back from this quick break.
Hey, it's TT from the Cold Cat, and your ride deserves the best. Auto Details on Broad Street area offers professional services for your car. If your car needs it, they do it. For a complete list of services, visit autodetails-elyria.com. Auto Details. Do it right.
My name is Tom, owner of Northeast Ohio Vet Fest and a U.S. Navy veteran myself. Every day, 22 of our nation's veterans die by suicide. As our men and women in the United States Armed Forces come back from the battlefield, many suffer from post-traumatic stress. Our goal is to help educate and to show support for the men and women that suffer from the stress of combat and war. Together, we can make a difference.
Have you ever been there when taps was played or for a 21-gun salute?
To see how you could help, please visit us at www.neovetfest.org. And to all my brothers and sisters, you're not alone. We got your six.
From building great projects to building a stronger community, Wiggins Construction is proud to support our Lorain County 4-H youth at the Lorain County Fair. Wiggins Construction, supporting the next generation.
The Doghouse Bar and Grill in Elyria is proud to support the Bearded Browns podcast. And when it's time for Browns football, there's only one place to be. Great food, cold drinks, and every Browns game. A Savage, come in and watch all games at Doghouse.
Hey, it's Gary from the Bearded Browns.
This is not a drill.
City Dogs and the Lorain County Dog Kennel have officially reached
critical mass.
We're talking dogs with zoomies the speed of a Josh Cribbs punt return. These dogs don't care about who the next QB of the Browns are. They just care about you. Adopt, foster, share, save a life. City Dogs Cleveland, Lorain County Dog Kennel. Draft the next Dog Pound superstar.
At City Dogs Cleveland on all social media.
Baseball season is back in Avon. Come join the Lake Erie Crushers every Friday and Saturday home game for post-game fireworks. Every Saturday is also a $1 dog night, so come hungry and enjoy a summer night of baseball and fireworks. Then, every Sunday is a family fun day at Forefront Field. Kids 12 and under eat free, play catch on the field pregame, run the bases postgame, and get autographs from all their favorite players. Tickets start at just $8. Get yours today at lecrushers.com.
We are back. We're going to talk a little bit about what the Browns need to do to win regular season games.
First thing they need to do is go to City Dogs and adopt a dog, man. They are totally filled with dogs there. They are filled to the max there. Go there for the rest of the weekend here. So it's Sunday. It's the end of the weekend, but $21 at the Animal Protective League, Cuyahoga County Shelter, and City Dogs Cleveland. $21 adoption fees. So go out there and save a dog's life.
Yes. speaking of dogs, let's get back to the dogs that need to run the ball, right?
Yeah, man.
I liked what you saw in the running back room yesterday. Obviously getting stopped pretty quick. There was a couple where important third downs where you could have had a first down and you went 3 and out. I don't want to see that. This line needs to obviously step up their game, especially on short fields. So running the football, establishing the offense, and take pressures off the QB just needs to happen. Protecting the quarterback, no matter who has the job. I don't care who's QB1, whoever is behind center, that line has to protect whatever's back there. And that goes for your running back as well. Creating explosive plays. Get players like Casey Concepcion involved and Denzel Boston. Those guys are going to be playmakers. Jerry Jeudy as well. Hopefully he gets out of his funk, or hopefully his funk is over, and we could start seeing some big plays happen. Obviously, I'm trying to figure out if we're going to be 50-50 on run versus pass. That's something that I'm interested to see how Todd Monken is going to run this offense. And then defensive side, man, you got to get after the quarterback. Show some pressures. Pressures are just as important as sacks. You put pressures on them that causes turnovers, that causes shakiness, and
I wouldn't say they're necessarily as important as sacks, but they're important, man. Because you have to, if you're not sacking the guy, you got to execute on the other side, right? So you need to count on the other parts of your defense to execute if you're just getting pressures.
Pressures are just as huge, man. I don't care what anybody says. Getting pressures is almost as good as a sack to me.
Yeah, it's like when they say like a walk in baseball, a walk's as good as a hit. Well, a hit will score a guy from second base, a walk doesn't. Same sort of thing in football.
How about I walk over there and hit you right now?
I would love it. I know there's someone else on our show that would love that too. that has a doctorate, a PhD. You're going to need the other guys to also execute, right? So if the other parts of your defense are executing, then that's great. You're getting those pressures.
Yeah.
But you're going to need the depth in that defense in order for that to work. So I'm hoping that these other parts of these defense are going to be executing. The other part here is that they have to protect the football, man. They have to protect the football. I'm almost willing to forgive an overthrow from Sanders more than I am that fumble from Watson.
That fumble you're unable to help, though. You're already mid-throw. I mean, you're trying to get rid of the ball. You're in the pocket. What more do you expect? If a defender gets in there and hits your arm, the ball could go anywhere.
I guess so. At that point, I think you got to feel the pocket collapsing and you tuck it.
You don't just throw yourself down to the ground.
Yeah.
Just asking for a friend.
I think that there are other quarterbacks that we've had here that when they've done that, we've chewed them up for not tucking that ball and trying to force a play. Right? There's a point where you got to feel the pocket and you just got to hold on to that ball when that stuff happens. When that ball got knocked out, it's not as though a guy came out of nowhere and knocked that ball out. He was in the middle of it.
Yeah. You know what else I want to see? That's getting fairly annoying yesterday is tackling. Tackling did not look good to me at all. I was kind of upset. You saw a bunch of missed tackles, broken tackles. You've seen guys diving like they were going to make a huge tackle, but just wasn't good. And that was another issue last year is missed tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see some improvement on that. I know they did a lot of tackling drills at camp. Not real tackling, not tackling actual physical players, but a lot of drills with like pads and such. And then finishing drives. That's huge. Start the drive, you finish the drive. In a perfect world, that'd be awesome if we could do that. And like I said, these things aren't going to happen right off the bat. But there's some potential.
Mm-hmm.
There is potential there.
For sure.
That's why I'm not mad at all about it. Like, this is the first time this team has been playing together. You have Shedeur Sanders last year learning Stefanski's offense. Now he's learning a whole new offense. Same with Dylan Gabriel. How quick could these guys adapt to this offense to be able to be a playmaker for this team?
For sure. And, even I know that, we disagree on this, but on the defensive side, even if they're using Schwartz's defense, they really are learning a whole new defense. Even if it's when you don't have Myles Garrett there, it's a whole new defense. Because even if Verse is in there getting pressures are different. It's a different guy. That defense is totally different when you don't have Myles Garrett there. Myles Garrett is just Verse is not going to be double and triple teamed the way Garrett was. And if that's the case, then the way you attack that offense is just different. Your coverages, everything you have to do is different.
I don't know. I think you got a 2-time Pro Bowler, a number 1 pick for next year, a number 2 pick for 27, and a number 3 pick for 28.
But none of that has anything to do with the way that you scheme for the offense right now.
It will, and you're going to see it this year. You can't say that. Jared Verse can come in here and be a Myles. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm saying that this kid is a dominant kid. It's going to be fun to watch him.
But if he was that dominant, you don't get all of those picks you don't get him in all of those picks.
Dude, the Rams even said, I did not want to do this, but you got the best in the NFL now. Fine.
Exactly.
Let's see what that does to the Rams defensive locker room.
Exactly.
I can't wait.
I'm not even we're not talking about that. You're mixing up.
No,
you're mixing things up. You're mixing things up. We're talking about
Myles Garrett and Jared Verse.
Myles Garrett and Jared Verse. Exactly. Your defense is going to be different now without Myles Garrett.
I don't think so.
It is.
All right, define leader to me.
We're not talking leader. We're talking schemes.
We're talking leader.
No, you're bringing in totally different things here.
How am I bringing in totally different things?
You're bringing in totally different things. You're talking about leadership in the locker room. We're talking about guys double and triple teaming Myles Garrett versus what you're not going to have to do with Jared Verse.
Why not? If he's going to be your strongest edge rusher, why wouldn't you double team him? If he is a pro,
are you going to have to triple team him?
You might.
You're not going to have to. Was he getting triple teamed over in LA?
He was definitely getting double teamed.
Was he getting trible teamed over in LA?
Who knows?
He wasn't.
Look it up.
You look it up.
Don't
tell me to live my life, bro. Don't tell me to live my life.
Oh, I thought this was going to happen yesterday. It's here today. Oh man, but yeah, I don't think that Myles Garrett, the old saying again, there's no I in team. There's not. Unless you scratch off that one little part that makes the I in team off the A. But I don't think that one man is going to make that big of a difference because.
But if he did.
Listen, I'm telling you why. Because of the team, like the defense in itself. You are supposed to be the greatest defensive player in the league. My question is, leadership makes a huge difference. It does. In your whole locker room. So I think you see Jared Verse come in here and Carson Schlesinger, a second-year guy and a third-year guy, now are your 2 top defensive players that could become leaders to this whole defense. And that might change everything for the good or bad. We're going to find out this year what it's going to do. And we're going to find out why Myles Garrett is now a Ram. I would love to know more. Obviously, you got another. I love Andrew Berry for this. I do. I'm not going to lie. You got rid of Myles Garrett for another 2-time Pro Bowler, younger talent, cheaper, and a 1, 2, and a 3. Do you think that's a dumb trade? Do you not like that?
I'm not. No, you got the trade. What I'm saying is that the reason why you got those pieces is because of how good Myles Garrett was. And you're going to see why he was that good.
The urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Ashland County, Wayne County in northeastern Ohio until 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 12:44 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Polk or near Ashland, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to trees and power lines. Locations impacted include Worcester, Orville, Rittman, Doylestown, Creston, Dalton, West Salem, Polk, Smithville, Apple Creek, Marshallville, Jeromesville, Congress, Roseburg, and Reedsburg. Remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Ohio: Ashland and Wayne.
All right, guys, if you are in Ashland and Wayne County, make sure that you do take cover, heed those warnings. And, man, did I hit the post on that or what?
That was perfect. We're in the middle of an argument, and you finished. And I went to go yell at you, and I had nothing because...
Yeah. Once again, it was God intervening, letting you know that I was right. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much for that.
No. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for joining the show as well. We appreciate you guys. This is our second show. We're going to be doing this every weekend for the Browns games. Our Saturday show is going to be like a Browns morning brew type deal where we're going to talk about the upcoming game from 9 to 10. That's a 1-hour show. And then this show is going to lead right into the games from 11:30 to 1 every Sunday.
Like a tailgate.
Yes, like a tailgating game. And we're going to be doing these outside of the studio as well. It's gonna be fun. We're going to do some Unilot games.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple of stops at the Doghouse Bar and Grill. It's going to be fun. So definitely make sure you guys all like, subscribe, share, everything. We definitely appreciate you guys for joining us. And look forward to being you guys' Lorain County and worldwide Browns talk.
For sure.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great.
Hopefully more fun than the Browns season. No, I'm kidding. I'm hoping the Browns do great. But I'm going to do a little thing with you, Gary, here. We're going to talk about overreaction or reality here.
Okay, let's go.
And I'm going to ask you a question, and you let me know if this is overreaction or reality.
Okay.
So the Browns should be worried about the quarterback situation right now.
Reality.
That's a reality?
Yeah.
I agree. KC Concepcion needs to get the ball more.
That's an overreaction.
Why?
He's a young guy, and I still don't think that he is... You got other guys there, I think, that need the ball more. I think Boston is going to be your main guy coming out of there. I just, these guys, you have a lot of guys here that need the ball.
You really still don't like KC Concepcion?
I do not like him.
Oh man, I'm going to laugh like Angel did yesterday.
Hey, listen, I told you before, man, I'm a swing state. You can change my mind. You can easily change my mind. I just, I need, I want to see Boston. I want to see Bond. I really love Bond. Bond, the stuff that you're seeing Concepcion do, I want to see Bond doing.
You will. Yeah, he's going to have his chance. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. This kid had a camp this year. Last year, he didn't. He came in week 3, I believe it was, and just, I obviously without knowing camp and all that, it was a bummer for him. But this year is a whole new year for him. I'm looking forward to seeing some Bond as well. The Browns' defense is the biggest problem.
Oh, that's definitely an overreaction.
I agree. Because yesterday you obviously didn't see your first for too long out there. Like Carson Schlesinger wasn't even out there
for sure.
I agree.
I mean, he hasn't been practicing either.
Right.
Do we have any updates as to what's going on there?
No, I know Monken did say all players are going to be dressed, so all 90 guys should be dressed. I see him out there wearing a jersey, and that's about it, and some sweatpants. So I honestly I don't know, but we'll find out something soon, hopefully. The offensive line is more concerning than a quarterback position.
It's definitely overreaction. I don't necessarily agree with that.
I'm on both sides of that. That's that double-edged sword, man. They're both problems. So how do you significantly fix one or the other? Well,
I'll just say, like in the Browns' past, I've watched the Browns have incredible offensive lines and never have good quarterback play. We've had Hall of Fame offensive linemen. We've had Pro Bowlers at the offensive line and never have that quarterback. And then I've watched Hall of Fame quarterbacks not have good offensive linemen. So in my view, just from watching football for 46 years, it seems as though you can have good quarterback play without a good offensive line, that good quarterbacks can make good offensive line play.
I did get into an argument with a buddy of mine probably, 4 or 5 years ago. We were on the phone talking Browns, and he was like, oh, the Browns have never had a good offensive line. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? since they've been back, they haven't had a good offensive line. I'm like, oh, man, give me whatever you're drinking or smoking, because that is false. I mean,
since they drafted Joe Thomas, they've had, for the most part, a good offensive line.
Yeah, you could say that. Fair. That's fair. Shedeur Sanders still has a legitimate shot at quarterback 1.
I'd say that's true.
I would agree. A lot could happen in the next 2 games.
And a lot of that, I don't necessarily think that even has much to do with Shedeur at this point. We still have yet to see, I am really worried about Watson, not throwing the ball downfield.
I think you'll see it eventually, just not right off the bat. It's preseason, so don't expect greatness. And
I'm not even trying to see greatness. I just want to see him, throw the ball 15 yards.
And I wanted to see the receivers get downfield, and obviously Shedeur Sanders had a couple of great longer passes that I liked. I'd like to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, chunk yards, and a big passing play would be awesome. I don't think this quarterback battle's over. Mm-hmm. But if I had to pick yesterday, I would go in this exact same way Ethan said, just how they played. Mm-hmm. Quarterback 1 is Deshaun Watson. Quarterback 2 would be Shedeur Sanders, and quarterback 3 would be Dylan Gabriel. Taylor Green on a practice squad. I'm wishing we could. No, I'm not even. We'll save that for another show.
You're talking about Green going to another position?
No, well, that or being able to be developed for his height and the way he is able to be mobile is great. But there's certain things that you need to fix. You can't be like we talked about yesterday, Lamar Jackson, inaccurate, and you're mobile and able to spread the field, but you got to be able to pass as well as a quarterback. You can't just scramble out of the pocket every single time and expect greatness. It's not going to happen. One preseason game means nothing.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Yeah, I agree. I
don't think any preseason games really mean anything, to be honest.
They do for Cleveland Browns and some other teams even right now. You are looking for the most important position on your team. I think they're very important.
I think there are moments in preseason games that mean something, but the games themselves don't mean anything.
Yeah, the score doesn't mean anything. I believe the play, some of the play does. And I guess what scared me yesterday is the Bears started none of their starters. And if we look that bad against 2s and 3s, are the Bears just that good?
I mean, they are a playoff team, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. We're going to move along here. One preseason game could still expose problems, and it did. That's a reality.
Oh, for sure. I think it's definitely reality.
There were some shining points yesterday. Don't get me wrong, where I was excited, but then there's other ones that made you just think, sit back and think, why did I do this? No.
Why am I committing my life to this team?
Yeah. And then there's some questions before we close out the show, because we have about till 1 o'clock. So we got about 6 minutes left, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. But who was your MVP yesterday? Obviously.
So, you're going to find this hard to believe. Concepcion.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it 8th.
You heard it 8th. Concepcion was my MVP of the game yesterday. He had a great game. He looked good in all the facets of the game. He is that multi-tool. If you can use him like that in the regular season, he's going to be exciting. I do want to see more of Bond being used like that as well. But listen, man, like I said, I'm a swing state. If you play well and you're used correctly and you win, I'm a fan.
AKA bandwagon. Anyway.
I'm a bandwagon for players. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah, same.
If you help the Browns win, I love you.
Absolutely. What was your biggest disappointment yesterday?
Offensive line.
Hands down.
It just I understand that they need time to gel, but you just want to see a little bit more cohesiveness, and the defense. The defense is something that it gets good and it wanes throughout the season.
I think the defense will be fine. Like I said earlier, as long as we can keep injury to a minimum, very, very small minimum, I think we'll be all right. I'm not too worried about that. But who would you say needs more playing time?
Isaiah Bond.
Isaiah
Bond, that's my guy.
I'm going to go with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd like to see, obviously, what the kid's capable of doing. If you could figure out this year that he could be a playable starting quarterback and win games, then I'm not saying the whole quarterback controversy will be over immediately, but there's potential.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to waste a number one pick next year on a possible. I've seen too many busts come out of the NFL as a number one pick, and I'm not against it, but I'm not also for it if you have somebody on a team that could do it. We have to figure that out. The franchise has to figure that out, not us as fans. We sit back and watch.
For sure.
Then we enjoy, or whatever you call that. And what needs to be fixed before the next game? The most important thing.
I mean, offensive line.
Agreed.
You know, the offensive line, I think, right now is going to be, because the other parts you're not going to be able to fix. You're not fixing your quarterback before the next game. Quarterback, no matter who you end up with as your quarterback, it's still going to be a development. And it stinks that you're going to have to say that for a guy like Deshaun Watson, who's 30 years old. But you're not going to know by next game who's going to be your quarterback. And you're not going to really be able to fix your offensive line by next game either. Everything that you need to fix is just going to take time.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're going to have to fix your offensive line. While you're looking for a quarterback, you want people to stay in the pocket and be able to let plays develop and get the ball downfield. That's how you do that. The play starts there. Protect your quarterback. Protect your running backs. Then you'll be able to tell more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see your quarterback scrambling every other play, dude. You just don't.
How nice was it to see, though, place kicker just hit a kick?
Not bad.
It was just
a 50-yarder.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have to talk about it. We're not talking about kickers right now.
Yeah, not a Cade York. Yeah,
and no Cade Dorks over here.
Cade Dorks. But everybody, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We're about to end the show here, but a closing thought is it's one preseason game. We're not throwing the season away over a 34-10 loss, but we're also not going to ignore what we saw, right? I mean, the Browns do have things to fix, and that's exactly what the preseason's for. Now, we just got to see how they respond. Next game, new week, more practices. I'm excited again for next week. I'm not downing today or yesterday at all. I'm not upset, Chad. If you think that, I'm not. But we're going to move on. And new week, new beginning. And week one is going to be here before you know it.
Yeah. And, we're ready for next week. Going to beat the Bills. Closing thoughts. Take care of yourselves and each other. And as always,
go Browns.
Woo, woo, woo.
There it is. Thank you, everybody.
Go Browns.
See you next week.
Broadcasting from the Lorain County Visitors Bureau Studios, this is WOBL, Oberlin, Lorain County Country. WOBL is Lorain County Country.